How will President-elect Joe Biden be different than President Trump on business immigration? Welcome to Voice of Immigration. I am your host, John Veely, immigration attorney and CEO of Online Visas, the intelligent immigration platform. It is not a surprise to anyone that Donald Trump is the most anti-immigration president in modern history. But how will the new president-elect Joe Biden be different? Will he throw out all of Trump's policies and open borders to anyone and everyone? Well, of course not. He will likely see a return to the policies that were in place under the Obama administration, since Vice President Biden was part of that. But times have changed. The world has changed. We are in a pandemic and the economic recession because of it. When Joe Biden is inaugurated as President Biden, what do you think he will do? What would we expect to happen? First, Joe Biden has said in a town hall meeting that he will immediately lift Trump's temporary suspension of H-1B visas. Currently, 3 lawsuits are pending that seek to severely limit the merit-based visa. We did a video on this, so check it out below if you want to see more on that information. So one big difference is that Biden will restore the status quo on at least the H-1B, which is really good news because Trump's acting Homeland Security Secretary, Ken Cuccinelli, said that they intend to limit the professions under the H-1B by at least 1/3. Further great news for those who need to use the immigration process is that Trump's senior advisor and anti-immigration architect, Stephen Miller, will no longer be working for the government. Mr. Miller stated to NBC prior to the election that he would bring even more limits to work visas, as well as limiting asylum, punishing or outlawing sanctuary citizens, and expanding tougher bans and tougher screening for visa applicants. You may recall Miller and Stephen Bannon were the guys who made immigration and fear a 1-2 punch for Trump. This entire philosophy will be gone. One tactic Trump used in his policy implementation was to change the mission of USCIS from a nation of immigrants to America first. That mindset increased denials at a higher level than we had ever seen before. One visa, the H-1B, saw an approval rate drop from 88% under Obama to 59% under Trump, with an attack on companies using highly educated Indian foreign nationals to have an even lower rate of approval. With President Biden's statements that he will toss out Trump's approach to the H-1B visa and installation of the first Indian American in the White House with Kamala Harris as vice president, we will likely see the attack against the world's most educated and mobile workforce end. There is no indication on who would support or oppose this, but if USCIS would remove the H-1B cap or the long wait lines for Indians to receive green cards, we could see a jump in tech workers and students coming to America. This is shown to grow our companies, increase jobs for Americans, and one reporting indicated that we would have an increase in our economy of $100 billion over 10 years if you remove the restrictions on work immigration. But is Trump done impacting immigration? He has 70 days left in office. President Obama and USCIS actually issued some immigration regulations 3 days before Trump's inauguration. One that was hailed by immigration practitioners, foreign nationals, and U.S. employers was the 60-day grace period for those terminated before expiration of their visas, allowing them to file new petitions with new employers while remaining in the U.S. Trump's laws on his way out of office may not be so friendly. Trump's USCIS and DOL did issue 11th hour regulations regarding restrictions on the H-1B visa and increased salaries for foreign nationals and replaced the lottery system with a process that H-1B visas will be issued from highest paid jobs down until they hit the numeric cap. As stated earlier and in other videos, we have reported the courts may resolve these issues first. Judge White in the Federal District Court of Northern California struck down the presidential proclamation limiting H-1B visas because the government improperly used the interim final rule to bypass the notice and comment phase. The new regs issued by USCIS follow the denial of the presidential proclamation's attempt to use the same interim final rule and has drawn the same judge. One would think these regs will face the same result. Regarding the lottery to salary-based adjudication, the problem is that the plain language of the Immigration Naturalization Act, called the INA, clearly states that visas are to be adjudicated in the order they are received. So it's a foregone conclusion that a court would toss this policy out too. But will Biden completely reverse all immigration policies under Trump? While we assume Joe Biden would not pass a proclamation with the stricter H-1B requirements, would he support its increased salaries for H-1B visas? In his 20-page immigration missive on his election website, he says he will work with Congress to first reform the current system of temporary work visas to require employers to pay fair calculation of the prevailing wage. It also supports the rights of foreign workers to join unions. Joe Biden has always been a union guy. Unions traditionally oppose immigration work visas. So we will likely see strong support for foreign nationals to come to the U.S., which is very different than Donald Trump. But they may be in support of increasing prevailing wages to ensure that foreign national workers do not undercut the salaries of Americans. And Biden would go further to ensure better wages for foreign nationals as well. Conceptually, this is a good thing. But politics is a game of horse trading. Will the Hispanic group that delivered Arizona and Nevada want to see family-based immigration, amnesty, and the draconian enforcement of ICE addressed first? Surely they will oppose any other measures of immigration if it does not include these. We have seen both parties struggle with immigration reform because both parties have elements that oppose it. Immigrants are an easy target because they can't vote. Their relatives can, their community can, but we have seen them turned into scapegoats under Trump, and that image does not just go away with an election result. So it will be interesting to see the salaries for foreign nationals look like in practice. The Trump DOL regulations hike salaries almost 100%, but its data appears to be artificial. Hopefully, if H-1B and other regulation salaries are increased, even after the regulation is invalidated by the court, they will not maintain the Trump standards, which are so unrealistic that American companies cannot hire the people they need and the employers are forced to ship more jobs overseas. But those in the immigration field, those that may want to hire foreign nationals themselves, and those that support them, this was the most existential election in modern history or ever. This was a great moment for democracy in America, who once again can proudly say, we are a nation of immigrants. If you want to stay up to speed on the ever-changing world of immigration, subscribe to Online Visa's YouTube channel. Please click like and share, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Quora, and Instagram. I'm John Veely, CEO of Online Visas, the intelligent immigration platform, where we deliver dreams.